And welcome back to Kenobi, guys, episode 2. Welcome to Project Potter. My name is Kyler, host. Guys, we're going through Obi-Wan Kenobi. Was kind of lukewarm on the opener, but there were still some good parts there. How do I feel about episode 2, guys? We're going to get into that if you haven't seen these series before. What we do is a kind of favorite episodes or thoughts on the episode, favorite character, least favorite character, score to 10, guys. Thanks again for joining me, and go check out the other content. Of course, like, comment, subscribe. You guys already know, but let's get into it, guys. This is where the fun begins. Was there any fun in this episode? I don't know. I don't really know, guys. I don't really know what the show is, what's going on here. It's not what I expected, but we get more of Obi-Wan. We get more of young Leia, which if you like those characters, great. Who doesn't like Obi-Wan? So Obi-Wan's trying to rescue Leia. He goes on there. He's on this planet. It looks like cyberpunk. Third sister's there. She is kind of off on her own. And there's this tension building, and then Obi-Wan is getting captured. There's a line about everybody bleeding. Obi-Wan throws down a smoke bomb like Batman. He escapes. And then Princess Leia is just like in the next room over. There's a hit out for Obi-Wan, and then everyone gets the signal, which is kind of like Mando, which I thought was interesting. I was like, oh, this is cool. How is he going to get off this planet? And he puts on his hood, and then she's like, you're not a Jedi. You don't use the Force or anything. He's like, I can't use the Force because we're going to blow my cover. And he's going through, and I'm like, okay, well, everyone knows he's Obi-Wan. But then Leia just runs off, and then he has just a really awkward chase scene. And guys, what are we doing with chase scenes in this series? What's going on? These are terrible chase scenes. And like, he's just got the hood down, and just no one recognizes him, dude. Is that going to go everyone? It was like John Wick 3, where everyone recognizes him. And it's like, how is John Wick going to get out of this? But John Wick is badass, and he can shoot his way out. With Obi-Wan, it's like he's not what he used to be. He said it's been 10 years. He's not really a Jedi anymore. He's got his lightsaber, but like even the costume design, like I love Ewan McGregor, but like he just looks kind of like lumpy in there. Like, I don't know. He's just like sitting there, and he kind of like doesn't look as cool as he did in like the prequel series. And so it just feels, something just feels off in this series. You know what I mean? So he's going through, and he's running right down with his hood off, and no one recognizes him, even though everyone and their mother just got a notification that there's a bounty for Obi-Wan. He's like the most hunted Jedi in the last 10 years, and it's just like, I don't understand how this is happening. He's trying to hide from people. Eventually, Leia goes to fall, and guess what, guys? They're doing the Fallen Order thing. They're doing the Fallen Order thing where Cal, at the beginning of Fallen Order, guys, if you haven't played it, spoilers, Cal can't use the Force. He's going to hide the Force just like Obi-Wan right now, because it's after Order 66. They're hunting Jedi just like Obi-Wan right now. And Leia goes to fall, and I was like, oh my God, dude, they're doing Fallen Order. And he just uses the Force to slowly just put her down. And it's the same exact thing that Cal Kestis does to save his friend in the beginning. And then his friend ends up dying. And then the Inquisitors find out he's a Jedi because he uses the Force. And that's how it's so stupid, because I'm like, dude, you got the Inquisitors from Fallen Order, that's cool, but you can't do the Force thing too. You can't also do that. What are we doing here, dude? I wish Cal Kestis was in this series. It would be really interesting if we see him, but I don't think it's going to match up timeline-wise. But it's just like, man, like, it's just like, and then little Leia is like, oh, you are a Jedi. And it's like, Obi-Wan's like, dude, I've been telling you that shit for 20 minutes. I just didn't care for this episode. I thought it was a really weak episode. And then Third Sister's going after him. But after she stands on the rooftop, guys, how long was she on the rooftop for? Like 25 minutes? Just looking, scouring the city, and then finally seeing like gunshots. And then she just knows that those gunshots are Obi-Wan. And it's like, what is she doing? She goes after him. She like gets him in a warehouse or a cargo ship. The one saving grace about this episode, guys, is Kumail Nanjiani, who is just phenomenal in everything he does. And I think he was in Eternals too. So like, he just shows up, and he's always the same character, and he's really funny. He's so charming, and it's like, Kumail is amazing. And so at the beginning of the episode, we find out he's like a hack, like a Jedi hack, and he's using like magnets to close things, like pretending he's using the Force and stuff. That was really great. I thought that was really clever. Everything else in this episode I thought was garbage. He's like, hey, I'm going to buy you time. He's like, I'm trying to make amends. His character arc seemed very quick, because he went from being like, I'm a con artist, I'm taking money from people, to Obi-Wan confronting him and being like, dude, that's messed up, don't do that. And then he had like a come to Jesus moment where he was like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm gonna help you out. And it's like, what, dude? Like within 5 minutes, we didn't even really see that happen. But he says, go to the cargo bay there, everything's automated, they won't find you there. They go over there, the Third Sister goes over, And then she's like literally just about to find Obi-Wan, and she says like, "Oh, Anakin's alive." But she's like, "Oh, you didn't know," and she can like kind of sense him. And she's like, "Oh, Anakin is alive. He's been looking for you for forever." And Obi-Wan, it's supposed to be like this big moment. And it's just like kind of a weird moment. There's no like flashbacks or anything. And it clearly affects Obi-Wan, but it's like a weird, it didn't really work for me. And then right when she's about to go get him, the Grand Inquisitor's like, "Wait, I'm gonna find Obi-Wan." And she's like, "Dude, he's right behind that crate. I can see him. His head is poking out. He's not even fully behind. He's right there. I can see him." And then he's like, "No, no, no. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take Obi-Wan down." And then she just like freaks on him, stabs him through like Kylo Ren, dude, to Ben Kenobi. Excuse me, not Ben Kenobi, to Ben Solo. Nope, not Ben Solo. Wow, guys. Kylo Ren to Han Solo in Force Awakens. And then I'm just like, dude, the Grand Inquisitor, you built him up. He seemed like a pretty intelligent character. And then he just gets stabbed in the chest by the third sister, who we already knew was a loose cannon, and he couldn't sense anything. He was just like, oh. And it's like, what is it with all these Star Wars villains that are like, you have the master and you have the apprentice, and the apprentice always gets power hungry, and they always want to take over the master, and the master is always taken down by something. It's like, you know, Last Jedi, this, I love the throne room scene. I think that's an awesome scene. I love how Snoke dies. Spoilers. Although that movie's pretty old at this point. I thought that was really cool, but like we keep doing the same things in Star Wars. Like we keep doing, oh, use the Force to save your friend and do this. If the Jedi are hunted, blah, blah. It's like, we need new ideas, dude. Like come up with something different. And so I was really excited for this time period, and now I'm just like, I don't know. The fact that she just kills him when he like completely let his guard down, and like you think the Grand Inquisitor would have like really powerful Force powers like Vader does, and I don't know. It's just like awkward. And then Obi-Wan escapes in the 2 seconds that she kills him. Like she can't track him down, and the ship goes away. And then she's just yelling at the ship, and then the shot stays on her, and she's like, "You can't escape him." And someone should have just come over and be like, he's been gone. He can't hear you. He's been gone for like 10 minutes. And that was just like a mess, dude. And this whole series so far is just like, ugh. And I was hoping episode 2 would get better. Instead, it got worse. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on whatever this show is. Okay, guys, the chosen one, which is my favorite character, it's Kumail Nanjiani. His character's name is Haja Estri. And I thought it was so funny, dude, that he is like a con artist Jedi, that he's bring people in, and he's like, yes, where are you going? He's like, he said, if he gets his like Coruscant or something, or he's like Corellia, he's like, yes, he's like, yep, safe travel. He's like, the Force is strong with you. And they're like, oh, yes, and with you. And he's like, give me the money first. And he takes the money, and then he uses the magnets to close the door to like show that he's using the Force, but it's actually just magnets. And I thought that was all really clever, and I thought that was the best scene in the episode. So Kumail is always so charming and great. And hilarious, and it's like to see him in all these different universes, like he's in Marvel and obviously Silicon Valley, and then now he's in Star Wars, and it's like you can kind of just throw him in there, and it felt a little offbeat, but Kumail is just so great that you can put him in any universe and he's going to be great. So he was my saving grace, and he was the chosen one for this episode. All right, guys, the one who failed me, which is my least favorite character, the Grand Inquisitor, dude. The Grand Inquisitor is going to go out like a bitch like that? Come on, man. I mean, they built him up. Like I said, he looked badass. He's got the spinning saber earlier in the episode where he probably decapitates this dude. And then he just gets taken down by the third sister, who he already knew was rogue. He already knew was a bad influence. And he just like lets his guard down and gets stabbed. It's like, I don't know. Is he really dead? Who knows? But if he's not dead, that's a stupid fake out. And if he is dead, then that's a stupid death. So it's like the Grand Inquisitor, played by Rupert Friend, I thought was really interesting character. I would have liked to see where they go with that, but for him to just get taken down, I'm like, what are we doing here, man? Just easily like, and again, and kind of Snoke-esque, where they built up Snoke, but at least we had a movie for Snoke, and at least we like had this idea that he was bigger. The Grand Inquisitor was kind of like, okay, you're supposed to be the leader, but like him and then like his right-hand man, and then the third sister, like they were kind of cooler than he was. So he was just kind of speaking, but he wasn't having like these crazy speeches. It was kind of just like, all right, well, you get some clever lines of dialogue, but he seemed like a smarter character than what his outcome was. So I'm just really disappointed with how it ended. And he's my least favorite character, I think, in this one. Okay, guys, that brings us to the score. This is a 6-5, dude. I am losing interest fast in this series. And again, guys, I'm going to bring you the reviews. I'm gonna hope it gets better. I'm sure it will get better. I will say, the very end where he's Obi-Wan's got that flashbang, kind of effect I like to call, where he can't hear anything. And he's just thinking about what was told to him. And he says, Anakin. And then it cuts to Anakin in the BAFTA tank or whatever it is. And it's like, you hear the Vader breathing before he's like officially Vader. Amazing, dude. That was really, really cool. That got me hyped. And I'm like, okay, so hopefully episode 3 on is going to be much better. But I got to say, for a 2-part event, which I know these both aired on the same night, very, very weak episodes to start. And I thought the first one was a little bit better, but I thought this one, it could have really projected the series upwards. Instead, it, I think, took it down a lot. And now I'm like, I'm sure it'll be better. I'm sure we'll get better episodes, but I'm just like not thrilled to watch episode 3. And I'm like, it's kind of weird because with the prequel trilogy, you were just like waiting for that waiting for that Anakin Obi-Wan fight. And it's like now we come to Obi-Wan the series, and it's like you're kind of just waiting for that rematch fight. And so it's like, all right, it's just building up to that. But I would have liked a really cool story to be told in the meantime, and I'm just like not finding myself very interested. Are we going to go back to Luke? Hopefully, we'll see. But like with these young characters, it's like they're not going to interact much. Like Obi-Wan might not ever see Luke because, when Luke meets him in A New Hope, obviously he's like, oh, old Ben. So they know each other to some point, right? He knows who Ben Kenobi is, but I don't know. It's just, I don't have a lot of faith in the way that they're going to handle that, but who knows? Maybe they're saving the better episodes for later. But yeah, just a disappointing second episode for me. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's another episode of Kenobi. So thanks for checking out Project Potter. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out the pilot episode, guys. And then the 3rd episode will be coming up. And then this week, of course, we have the 4th episode. So these are going to be coming out fast and furious, guys. They might be coming out 2 a night. They might be coming out 1 a night. I'm not really sure. So whenever this goes up, guys, appreciate you stopping by. Again, go check out the other content, guys. But until next time, guys, don't try it.